Alright, everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Lisa, and we are working on basically Scrapbook 101, kind of going step by step for the beginner, or if you want to brush up on some skills, or if you haven't made one in a while and you think you're interested in making one again. These are some really fun pages I've created, but they're super easy. But they look like, when you're finished with them, they're going to look like you worked really hard on them. Okay? Now, this is the one that we just finished. This was April's. Super cute. And now we're going to work on May. Now, May is my birthday month, so the only sticker that I had in my collection that I could use was my happy birthday sticker, and I'd pulled out this chipboard piece and then this little chipboard piece. And I did pull out a button. I might pull out another one, but this is the button I pulled out. It's kind of got a floral motif to it. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Okay. Anyway. So this is the page. We have, I can't remember. These are called Matchbox. They're like a you know, matches. The Matchbox. This, usually you would think of it as being like this, and you would pull this out, and this would kind of stay closed, and then you could, and that is certainly an option if you would prefer to kind of do it this way. But I have the flap at the top, and the flap is going to open, and then there is a waterfall with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pages, you know, flips for your pictures, and then you got a space here, and then of course you've got the inside of this piece. So we're going to need a lot of paper, and remember, we have 2 12 by 12 sheets in this, you know, in each one of these, and this is a lot of paper to cover, a lot of space. So we've got our May sheet, okay, and go ahead and cut off. If you have the perforation, cut just below the perforation, but don't throw this away because it can be used. This is from, I don't remember, I think maybe April, and we had this left over. I may be using this on this one. I'm not sure, but I pulled it out to put in my stack anyway. I've got a piece of the craft, and then this is the closest thing that I have, and I think it's all right. It's the closest thing I have to go with this. I will probably use it sparingly, but I will use it. And I pulled out a very, very soft green. There are some greens in here, and I think this is a good match for that. This is not the same green I had for the other one, which of course, here's a little piece of that would have worked as well. It just would have been, you know, a lot more of a contrast. These are very soft colors in this one. So, and then I cut up my other 12 by 12, just like I did on the others, most of the others. Okay, so this is the way I have cut it out so far. And I'm trying to make it so you can see everything. There we go. I want definitely to use these two. Happy birthday. Yay for me. And of course, I did cut off the bottom part of May, but that's okay. I am going to use that. I definitely want this strip right here. And this strip I kind of cut through all the way because of the back. This is the strip on the back, and I wanted that. And it says Sweet Remembrance on it. So those are definitely the things that I'm going to use. Then we have stripes. And we have a flower. And then, I don't know. Yeah, and then we have butterflies. And this is butterflies. So that's what we have to work with. I know, doesn't look like much, but we still have these 3 to also add to it, and then this and this if we need it. Alrighty then. So on the very front piece, I know I want the May, but I don't want to start with the May up on the top because it will be covered. So let's just take our pencil and there we go. Take our pencil and just kind of make a mark. It doesn't have to be even or anything. It's I'm just kind of making a mark to know that if I stay below this line that I just made, I've got the line underneath the points that we put on, that I know that the May will show. So first I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I've got so many things on my cutter that I don't need. There we go. All right, guys. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. And I hope you all are joining me, crafting with me. And if you haven't watched any of the other videos to this, I'm kind of building on the what we're doing. So, you know, we've done some basic pockets, we've done you know, basic flaps and all. This is our first waterfall, and so and we've put these together in earlier videos, and now we are decorating them. Okay, so let's take this. And I know that I want to kind of stay, you know, around that mark. So I think I want this part to be under that mark. But the rest of this can go up. And then that'll be less that I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with the remaining balance up here. And I could even cut it off because I would still have enough, but I don't think I'll do that. And I think, yeah, we were going to do like a string closure on this one. We've been doing different closures. So, you know, there's just all kinds of goodies that we're going through, and it's kind of good for you. I mean, you can watch all the videos and whatever method you want to do, but I would suggest if you're going to start working on it, you know, go back to the first ones. Obviously, you'll have to build your pages, but watch them in order and do them in order, because I am kind of building on what I'm teaching you so that you can, you know, just know, you know what you need to know in order to do the next step. Okay, now we do have a gusset here. It's 1/4 inch. So I'm going to fold the first score line that you come to. Fold that down so that you're not getting confused as to how you're, you know, what you're measuring for your paper. So leave that gusset, just flatten that gusset out. And that way you can kind of see what is truly going on with your paper as you're trying to figure out where you're going to cut everything. All right, so I think I'm going to give this, let's see, I got that there. Going to give this just a little mark. You want to, it doesn't matter. I'm doing approximately a 1/16 of an inch border of black all the way around. It is easier when you're learning to do a 1/4 of an inch border all the way around, or an 1/8 of an inch border. But if you like the 1/16 of an inch border, then go for it. I am making this one for myself, so I'm going to be using this myself. What I'm using this for and how I'm creating this is basically a year in a glance. And so, oh, I totally missed my mark on cutting. Did I? Yeah, a little bit. So you just, there we go. Let's see. That was a little rough. Lost my train of thought. Imagine that. Lisa lost her train of thought. And I've also lost my scissors. I know I took them out to cut some stuff, but I don't remember if I brought them back. I've got so many little side projects going, and I've got that hashtag Christmas in summer thing that I'm doing. Oh well, let me just get a pair of scissors. And so, you know, I'm trying to work on that on the side and work on this to keep this going. So, yeah, busy it'll be, but it's fun. It's all fun. And that is what keeps you going. It's a happy place, especially this day and age. We all need something just for us, and we need something that takes us away. Kind of like a Calgon bath. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Okay, so that is going to look super, super cool. I love it. Love it. And then I'm going to figure out what ones I'm going to cut some squares out for so that I can get these done, and then I'll know what I'm going to put on the top. But let's go ahead, and we can't mount this down yet because we do have to think of our closure. But I'm going to go ahead and ink this so it is ready for whatever we decide we want to do. Well, I decide, and you say, oh, Lisa, no, no, no. Or you're like, yes, yes, Lisa, do it. I got a couple of comments on the Christmas and summer thing. I had a card that I fussy cut some pieces out of from the Night Before Christmas collection, Graphic 45 Night Before Christmas collection. And was it Night Before Christmas? No, A Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol. See, I'm still like oblivious to what the heck I'm supposed to be talking about. Anyway, and I could not think of Scrooge to save my life. I'm like, Jacob Marley? No, it's his partner. Now, how could somebody remember Jacob Marley but not remember Scrooge? I don't know. I mean, Jacob Marley was in it like once, twice maybe. But I remembered his name. Oh, for heaven's sakes. And apparently I had several people laughing along with me. So that was fun. That was fun. I just, you know, the YouTube community is just awesome. Just awesome. I love all you guys, and my day's just not the same unless I get to get in here and talk to y'all for a little while anyway. Sometimes it's for an hour, sometimes it's for 2 or 3 hours, so that's always nice. Okay, so I'm just kind of taking, let's see, these pieces, just so we know, are not long enough to go all the way across, which is fine. We can do strips. So those pieces won't do it. This one, you know, it's close. This one definitely. And that's actually not that bad to have that on the front. Then it just all depends on what we're going to do here. So I could do these little butterflies. But no, I don't really like. See, I don't care for those two papers together. They just, you know, they don't like do anything for me at all. But that actually would be stinking cute, wouldn't it? If I cut that little section out and put it on there and then used some strip work or something. Yeah, I think. And then that will still leave me, what's that, 1.5 inches? Yeah, that'll still leave me about 1.5 inches of long paper if I need it, which is important. We do want to make sure that we leave ourselves some of that very long strips, although we do have this other half so we can strip it down. But now, see, now this other half is much shorter, but we will figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. We will figure it out. Do I like the green up here? And then this on the green, and then maybe butterflies like that. And then still not sure. Still not sure what I would put here. Okay. Okay, so let's move in. I'm going to just lay that off to the side for a minute while I think about it. I got to think about it. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going to get myself a paper clip so I don't. And I'm just going to put this up here, paper clip it. And now down here, I actually think what I'm going to do down here is I'm going to do photo mats. Okay. I think I will do 4 photo mats. And the color that I'm going to use, maybe the pink. Maybe the pink. I think the pink would work. Now, what's better, to do it this way, and that will leave me that piece, and a strip this way, or if I do it this way, that'll leave me same difference, I think. Okay, I am going to take this piece, this pinkish, and there is a underlying swirl in here that is a more like a purple, a darker lavender or something that's in there. So you guys are, I know that the camera's not picking it up, but there is like a deeper tone on tone on this paper. So it's very pretty. It just looks like it's kind of a bright pink, but there is more to it. There is more to it. But you guys just pick what you got in your stash, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just sticking with what I got in my stash. So what you want to do is you want to cut this so that it would be just like if you were going to mat it. So whatever you're leaving as a black edge all the way around, that's what you want to do. And when you figure out what the black edge is that you're leaving all the way around, you want to do it on everything. Unless there is a specific thing that you want to have it really be, you know, focused in on, you can leave bigger black edges, or, you know, but it has to be like something very specific that you're trying to really make it stand out. Or if you don't have a whole lot of paper, you can make it look like you did that on purpose. And so, you know, it just all works out. All right. Oh, and then I drop my remainder piece. Okay. So we have this piece, and I cut it quite nicely. And then this piece. Okay, so we're gonna keep these because we'll use them. Okay, so double check that you cut this out and that you've got the black edge that you want all the way around. All right, I have a pencil mark to erase. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, this is the way it fits. Take your right side and fold it over. Match up those lines as well as you can. Get it as perfect. My word that I hate, but get it as exact as you can. I don't hate the word perfect, but you know what I mean. We're not striving for perfection. Okay, once you line them up, oh, it moved on me. Once you line it up, and you also want to make sure that it's even on the top and the bottom. Okay. Hold it nice and tight while you score it. All right. So then we're going to bring in our little cutter. I think this one will work on this. Yes, it does. And we're going to put nice and straight, and just have like 1/8 of an inch hanging over the edge. Make sure you're nice and straight, that you are all the way against here, and that you are holding on to the piece, the plastic piece that holds this down. And cut it off. That's just a little teeny bit. It's just enough to cut that fold. Okay, now don't mess them up. This is the way they are, just like this. Now you're going to take one of them and flip the long side edges together. All right. See, this is a way of doing these mats and not having to measure anything. So it doesn't get any easier than this. When I first started out, I would have to get my measurements, do the math, cut out so many 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 an inch and 1/8 of an inch, and get all the math done so I could figure out what I needed to cut out. This is so much easier. So I am teaching this method to you. If you guys want to know and see all the math getting done, I can do it, and I'll be glad to show it to you. But you don't need it. And actually, I find by making the marks where you want to cut, I find myself, did I cut enough off? I don't think I did. I'm going to scooch that over just a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, I didn't get all of it off. I actually find myself getting better and better cuts. Now remember, we folded this over, and this is the side I just cut off, right? Yeah. So it should start fitting where you're going to have your little black edge. I got that paper clip in there, so it's kind of messing me up, but I'm just going to leave it because all I'm doing is just... So grab this one, do the same thing. Fold the edges together. Get them as nice and straight as you can. Okay. Oh, I had such an exciting day today. As soon as I kind of get this done, I'll tell you guys about it. Okay, so this is the folded edge. We're going to put that in. Cut that off. So this is where we cut. So that goes towards the center of the page. And I'm not so sure that I did this one. Yeah, okay. There. All right, so now we should be able to place these down and get the edge we want on both the top and the bottom. Isn't it nice? And you got the black edge all around. It's not perfectly laid down, but how simple is that, huh? And then we can, well, you know, like I've got this little piece of chipboard. I could put that chipboard right there in the center, and that page is done. And then all we're going to do is we're going to glue kind of in a plus, kind of going to put glue right down here and right across where it hits. So you're going to put glue just on that pencil mark, lay it down so that the glue lines run right across this opening and right across this opening. So then you can put a picture in to put the picture on your mat. Okay? Super, super easy. Super easy. And that is, you know, ba-bam, we're done. So I'm going to put a black edge on this. I love it. And I love that there's now going to be more picture space in May. Now there is a definite difference on these pieces. So make sure that you keep them, you know, going in the right direction. And I'm sorry, I'm going off camera to ink these because I don't want to get all that stuff all over my, this is right, yes. And I'm going to flip these because I don't want that black haze. Just so you guys remember, if you ink your edges like this, you will get a black haze. Let me kind of make it darker so you can see what I'm talking about. You get a little black haze, but on the back, you don't get the black haze, but you do get the black edge. So I ink from the back forward because I don't want a black haze, but I do want a black edge. Okay? See, all that stuff is just flying everywhere, and then it makes little marks. And that is not nice. So this one goes this way. There we go. And then just get this one finished. Now, if you like that black haze, by all means, do it. That is your prerogative because this is your project. Okay, now you, yes, I had you turned wrong. Wrong. Okay. Alrighty, so I am not going to use a very fast drying glue. If you have a slow drying glue, then that is the glue you want to use. And I have this Tombow Mono Aqua liquid glue. You can get this at Michael's, Joann's. I think Stampin' Up! Even sells it, or at least they used to. And it is going to give you some time to do a little wiggling. And so it is always nice to have this type of glue. Now, when you put it down, you're not pushing it. You're just laying it down. And that is going to be another thing that is going to help you get these in the right spot. But you can't really dilly-dally a lot. Once you start, you got to keep going. Don't get in a hurry. It is only paper. And as you put it down, you want to make sure that you're staying level on the top and the bottom, and that you're keeping the your borders even. And I am going to take that paper clip off for right now. Okay, and I think these can come down a little bit. Just a little bit, and come over just a little bit. There. You can come up just a little bit. Okay. I'll pull you down just a little bit. Another thing with this glue is it is repositional until it dries. So there we go. And then this last one should just fit right into place and finish up our puzzle. All right. Right. Oop. Okay, sorry if I'm getting my head in the way, but I am starting to dry, so I want to make sure that I'm doing this A-OK-O. A-OK-O. All right, how's that look, guys? Oh, I love it. Now we're going to burnish it down, and that is going to tell that glue that yes, we are ready for you to go ahead and grab and dry and be permanent and spread all around. Yes. Love it. Love it. Okay, thank you, glue. You're leaking on me a little bit, but I do thank you. So I don't use this. I don't use this very often at all, but it's wonderful for this kind of thing. It's not great with thinner paper. It will make it bubble and wrinkle, and it's like it's got a lot of water. I don't know if it's water, but it just, I don't know. But anyway, okay, and then here's my chipboard piece. And I already have inked the edges. I wanted to ink these. And I think I'm going to put it right like that. Now, instead of actually putting glue here, instead of doing that, let me get this up where you guys can see it. I am going to put glue actually on the paper. All right. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to hold this so that I know, do I want to do anything on the hole? I think maybe I do. Let's hold on a second. Let's get ourselves a little piece of lace maybe. Or we've got, I think the lace will be pretty. So I'm going to cut myself a little piece of lace. I don't know, some of you guys who have been crafting for years and years and years will remember these creative memories. They are still around. I knew somebody when we lived down in Florida that was still selling creative memories stuff. But they still kind of do the same thing, but they have a little more up to date. But they were the cat's meow back in the day. Years. Well, I don't even want to think. I don't know. That was back in 1990 something. Yeah. I've been crafting a long time though. Well, since I was old enough to hold a pair of scissors, because my grandmother lived with my mother and father and my brother and I, and she crafted, my mother sewed, and she made beautiful quilts, and she did portraits in chalk, and she painted. She was very, very talented woman. Very, very talented. So I come from a long line of crafters, crocheting and knitting and just the whole thing. I learned as much as I could from my mom and my grandmother. So now I'm just going to kind of hold this to judge where I want the glue. And I want to put a good little bit on there, but not, I'm filling up the space, the black space. And then I'm just going to kind of hold this so that I know how much to put across. There. So there is a good bit of glue there, but hopefully it will be enough. And just kind of line everything up and place it down. And then we're going to stand here for a second. Let's see, something with a little bit of weight on it. Not much. And we're going to hopefully get a nice adhesion. We want some adhesion. Adhesion. I am not feeling superbly organized here, but that's okay. That's okay. We can fly by the seat of our pants too, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. Okay, today I told you I was going to tell you. Oh, well, actually, let me start off with yesterday. Well, actually, let me start you off with last Friday. Last Friday, I had to put my little dog, Milo, down. Saturday was his 19th birthday. And so anyway, my little white dog, Nikki, has never been by himself. He's always had Milo, and we had another dog before that was with all of us, so we had 3. And Nikki just went nuts. Just nuts. It was sad. He just was sad. So we decided, okay, we need to bring something else in this house for him to play with and to have and to hold and call him his very own. Okay, I think we are good. I'm not going to test it just yet. I'm going to let that dry because I can still see that it's wet. Because I have a little bit of glue in the hole. When that is clear, that means it's dry, and then I will test it and show you all that good stuff. Okay, now this goes on the back side. So, I still need to know what I'm going to put up here. And I think I do really like this. It's a nice focus, and it's pretty little pictures, and I love children, so yeah. Now you can choose anything you want. If you want to just do the May, if you want to, whatever. You choose excuse me. You choose what makes you happy. I was trying to find, there was other options. So there's the postcard, which I think might be a little big. Yeah, the postcard's a little big. But you had you could use one of these or you can make a little side pocket and have that there. But I'm not looking for a lot of pockets in this page. The page before it's all pockets. So this page is all about getting some photos down. And this is the section here, the only section that I have that I'm really not putting pictures on. So we can use some pretty decoration. So I am going to cut this. This is why my scissors are gone, because with this Christmas in summer, hashtag Christmas in summer thing that I'm doing, I've been cutting out a lot of stuff while I sit and watch TV with my husband. So they are out in the living room and I just don't feel like going to get them. Yeah, lazy. I know, I hear you guys. I hear you guys. Oh my gosh, it's been 40 minutes already and I have done almost nothing. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So anyway, my son had a neighbor that he has a really adorable dog who just had 10 puppies. And she's just a little over a year old. It was not a planned thing. But she had 10 puppies. That's a huge litter. She's it's the dog with the different color eyes. I want to say Malamute, but I don't think that's correct. And Shepherd. She's really, really pretty, and very, very sweet. She didn't know us from Adam. She came running up and just loved us and hugged on us and all that good stuff. So yeah, she was very sweet. And they're not really certain who the papa is. So we don't know what we got, but we got this little puppy, and I will bring him on. He's asleep now. My husband, they're asleep, so we're leaving them alone. But I will bring him on a video really soon so you can see. He's a cute little puppy. He's 5.5 to 6 weeks old, or 6.5 weeks old. They weren't sure. They're going to look at the husband and daughter came down, and my wife's got all of that. So we will be finding out exactly how old he is, but he's super cute. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. So, I also, is this what I want? No, I think I want the green. So, I am going to flip this around so that we're working on this little piece here. And we're going to get our green out. If you don't have a green and you have a lavender or a pink or just this, craft paper, whatever you want, whatever floats your boats, girls and guys. I occasionally have a man. Okay, I do not want to go into these. I want to stay just above those. So I'm going to pull this back so I can see. I'm going to have it rest right on them or close to them so that will be covered. So let's get this cut. Okay. Now, if I lean that right against there, oh, very nice. Very nice. Perfect. Love it. Okay. And then we're going to cut this with a little black edge. So you just pull this out so that you have, let's see if you can, so you have your little black edge that you want, and then you make the other line work for your other little black edge. And I'm not going to ink this one, and we're not going to put it down yet. I know, it's like, dang girl, when are we going to start gluing some paper here? So there's that, and then this will fit on there, and we're going to do, okay, so now if you have, and I am going to use my score punch, because we have these, I am going to make my swirly thing out of squares instead of like circles. You've seen them been done in circles, but I am going to do them in squares. And I have a bunch of different blacks here, so I'm using my black on the top, which is this, and I'm putting about 4 of them together. Is 4 too many? No, 4's good. And then, or no, let's do 3, because I will put some, and we'll need 2 sets. So let's get 1, 2, and then my black on top, which I think I have another black one over here. That's the black paper I'm actually using right there. Okay, and then we're going to do let's see, what do we want? Do we want the little butterfly paper? Oh, wow. I could fussy cut the little butterfly out and put it on each one of those. That would look so cute, wouldn't it? Put the little butterfly on there. So I might do that, guys. And then I would come back to you. Because that would be something a little different. Or I do have this little section here and here that I could cut out and put on. Then that would make a little smaller square, but it wouldn't have the gold on that side, but I could make it work. But I think I'm going to fussy cut out 2 of these butterflies, and then I will have 3 other ones, whichever ones I choose to do. I think I definitely only want to choose 2 on the ends, and they're basically they're all the same. So I'm just going to cut 2 of them out. I'm going to get these fussy cut, and we'll come back and we'll glue these on here. We'll poke holes and put our brads through, and we'll do our closure. Then we can get everything else done. All right, so I will be back in just a moment. Love you guys. Hey, if you're liking it so far, give me a thumbs up. Do that while you're waiting on me to come back, and it's only going to take a second. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and then maybe you can, I put these all on my playlists, so you can go to my playlist and you can see the whole event, the whole project. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, so I totally changed what I was going to do when I flipped. You know, I was going to do these 3 guys. When I flipped it over, I don't know. I thought I'd seen that, but I didn't. I guess I moved it out of my way or whatever. But I saw the butterflies, and I said, you know what? That's what I need to do. So, I have cut 2 of the green, and I did remember to bring my scissors back. And it just got a little funky edge from my, there we go. Okay, I'm going to cut these in half. There's that. And this one, just from corner to corner. All right. So it took me a little longer than a second, so I hope you guys weren't waiting too long. So now I want to get these so that I have a little black edge. Let me put something down so you can see. So I'll place these down so I have a little black edge on each one, okay? And then I'm going to place this pink strip right at the base of the black pieces. And of course that will cover the raw edge of the green half a square that I'm just placing down there, which is what we want to do. And then I took my seam binding and I put knots in. I just wanted something a little more oomph than just sitting them on the paper. And I really like the knots. So I'm going to leave those in, and I'm going to wrap this around the green and then put the green down. And then we're going to do some something with this. Okay, so let's just get on it. And we're also going to work on our closure, and I'll show you what I've got for that. First, let's go ahead, get all of this up out of the way. Let's go ahead, wakey wakey glue, and let's get these down. And we're just going to leave ourselves a nice little black edge on both sides. And I'm only doing the 2 on either end, and I'm not gluing down. There's a ledge here from where these are hooked onto the flap, and I'm not gluing down over the edge because my green piece, so I'm not pushing these down to hit this bottom piece because my green piece is going to fit right up against the edge. So I'm leaving these. And I thought I was originally going to use this one, but it just made it a little too busy the way I changed it, and I don't have my tape on. Ah! Okay. So, but that's the beauty of this. You can change your mind. I hadn't done anything yet, and so change my mind. There, get that down. Okay, and then I've got 2 more. Oops, that was good. All right, here. Remember, these are just 1-inch squares cut in half. And you saw us, and when we built the page, you saw me put these on, and then, and I do have the 1-inch square punch that I use, but if you don't have that, it's super easy. You cut a strip of 1 inch and then cut 1-inch increments, and you'll get 1-inch squares. And then if you're going to, oh, I put glue on the side that was not so pretty. I'm gonna have to get another one of those. I won't be happy with that one. So, oh, that's not a full square. I'll show you that in a few minutes. So let me get another piece and cut it in half. And let's glue this one down. And I think this is going to make it look like the green sheet goes all the way down, which is kind of what I'm looking for. And here we're going to cut off the little bit so that we have a nice black edge. All right. And then I needed to put, let's see, that one I just cut off. Is that going to work here? No, way too small. Okay. So I am going to, let's see. Can I do this straight? There we go. So I just cut the triangle in half, and that gives me a piece that's perfect to fit in that little space. And quite honestly, I can cut most of this off as well. There we go. All right. Just paper, guys. No pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's paper. You can rip it apart and try it again. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. It's what makes you happy. And if you're doing something and you realize, oh gosh, I really don't like this. Well, find out what it is you really don't like and change that. You know, it's, oh shoot, that was my piece. Ah, dummy. See, we all make boo-boos. We all make boo-boos. So thank goodness I have enough. I'm just going to line this up. Make a mark here and here. And I'm going to cut that puppy down. I'm going to cut it here first so that I'm still leaving the largest amount. Right there. Okay, and then this piece right there. All right, let's see what we got. This goes very nicely right in there, and it stays away from the folded edge. You've got 2 folded edges here, and you want to make sure you stay away from that very first one you come up to, because that's the one that is going to need to, you know, bend and, yeah, be able to fold and such. And now I want this to come right across to cover up these little strips of paper so that you can't see that part of it. And I don't want to really cover up my, I'm covering up just a little bit of the V, so I'm going to pull it back a little bit so that I can get the full effect of the V. Let me pull this in so I can show you. I had it kind of like this. I want the full effect of the V, so I'm pulling it back just enough so I can get that whole V in with just a little bit of green, and that is still going to allow me to cover up. Yeah, so it's still going to allow me to cover up the raw edge of these little green triangles, but yet get, oh, I'm so sorry, but yet get this down so that, you know, you can't see all that mess. Okay, and then this, I've got my little knots, and honestly, I think I could try and make them look a little more alike. Okay, I'm not pulling them really tightly because I am going to want everything to kind of lay down nice. I think I'm going to manipulate my ribbon a little bit here, my seam binding, so that, okay, I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to take a little bit of score tape and put it on both sides. You only need, you know, an inch or so, because it's not like we're going to be adhering down across the top of it too, so you don't need to use too much. I used way too much, so don't worry about using as much as I did. Okay, so let me double check that I've got these where I want them. And I want to center them on the page, both from the top and the bottom, and the left and the right. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to bend this over and put it on the tape, and bend this over and put it on the tape. And let me lay these out and make sure I still like this. Yeah, I do. I do. I think that looks pretty cool. And see, that's why we don't really have to worry too much about how much we're putting on the back of this to hold the seam binding down, because you are gluing these puppies down on top of it. Oh, sorry, forgot. Let's move you back out. Okay, so so you can see I'm liking the placement. I'm liking what I'm getting. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. So I'm going to cut my excess off. Put this back in my little baggie. I like to keep them in individual baggies, especially when I have this much of them. And then you can just pull it out like this, but it keeps them clean and together. So there you go. Okay. Now let's go ahead. I'm having the purple one in the center, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start with this purple one. And I'm going to glue this down. Now the Art Glitter Glue, Scotch Quick Dry, Eileen's, any of them are going to work over top the seam binding. So you can use Fabri-Tac if you want. And I'm just going to lay this so it's centered top and bottom and left and right down. Just let's see, how is that gonna work? Yeah, we're still gonna be good. Still gonna be good. Okay, so there we go. And then either one on each side. I just kind of like the darker purple one in the center. And now if you need to get yourself like a little ruler and lay this down against that so you have it at the same height. Let's move it over just a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Straight, kinda. Well, come on now. Okay, good. And that makes it nice and fluffy. I like that. Okay, and then this one. And grab your ruler. And let's make this one the same, coming in the same amount as the other one. Okay. Isn't that cute? I think I got this one off just a little bit, but it is going to be looking just fine and dandy. Yeah, I did get it off just a little bit. Well, no, not really. It's going to look like it's off a little bit, but it really isn't off a little bit. Now, I'm going to attach on this one a part of our closure. So I have a 1-inch square, and then I have a square that I cut down. Did I do this one already? No. I think I did this one. Yeah. So I cut this down so it's a little black edge. I'm going to go ahead and lay this one. So I cut a 1-inch square, and then I just took a little bit off 2 sides, and that will make it smaller, so you have a nice edge on there. Okay, and then this one, see, I don't think did I do one side of this? I just can't remember. I did one side, so I have to do the other. So basically, I'm just, and you can do it with your cutter, take about 1/8 of an inch off. So it's 1 inch square. So I'm going to move it over to 2 bars. And the green one, I moved it over just 1 bar with just a 1/16. And then this one, I want to make sure I've got it nice and straight. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to cut this edge off. It's a little wonky because it kind of shredded the. Okay, so let's see how we're doing here. Yeah, okay, so I did not cut both edges. So here we go. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So now you're having a short side and a long side, and we want to have 2 equal sides, or 4 equal sides really. So we're going to place this one down. Now that ended up being, oh, there you are. See, isn't that cute? And then I cut out a butterfly, and I'm going to lay the butterfly right on there. I'm going to put a brad between them, or, you know, poke a hole to put a brad on. Let's go ahead and put this one down. I think I might have you too close, but you can, at least you can see what I'm doing here. And that is not really cut very straight. Hold on. And I did that with a cutter. Just imagine. Okay. There we go. That looks better. Now I'm going to put the butterfly across it like so. Now you can either move the butterfly down enough to poke a hole in the center of the square and miss the butterfly, or you can put the butterfly in the center. Remember, I'm going to have it point up, so I'll put him in the center. I'm going to go ahead and glue him down. Now, I did not fussy cut out his little antenna because his little antenna were black. So black on black, he's not going to show up very well. And I just want him to be right in the center as best we can. Okay, take my pokey tool, and I'm going to use the brad as his body. Here we go. Anytime now. Yeah. Get a little bit deeper so I can actually get the brad in there without having to really push on it horribly. Let's get a brad out. One of my little cheap black ones. Let's fix it. Like I said, these were an okay buy, but when I went to Hobby Lobby and the other day my husband took me to Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and we also went to Harbor Freight and the biggest Walmart I think I have ever seen in my life in Barbersville, West Virginia. Barber, it's something like that. And see, isn't it cute? Focus. There we go. So that's actually a handmade piece of ephemera. Okay, guys? So that's how easy it is to use a small element out of your paper and, you know, make it work for you. Okay, so now what we need to do is I need my, did I put them in here? I need my little container that I have my, yep, that's what I need, all right, that I have my, oh shoot, what the heck do you call those things? Here they are. Washers. All right. And I am recording, and you do have voice. Yes! Okay, so I'm just going to get myself a little washer. Again, you can get these from Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, any place. Your husband's stash in the back, in his shop, or, you know, whatever. I'm going to put some glue around so that this washer has something to just make it stay. Oh, well, that worked out really well, didn't it? I'm going to, let's see, this way. I want to, here, I'm going to push the brad back through because I need the hole. I'm going to keep my washer down, and I'm going to put it on upside down, place it where I'm going to want it. Now, because there is a black bottom edge, I'm going to actually line up perfectly with the triangle. And then I'm going to take my pokey tool, if I can find what I did with the darn thing. I actually put it back where it belongs. I'm going to stick my pokey tube back through the hole and push down hard enough to make a mark into the paper. And then I'm going to poke my hole through there. All right, now find my brad again. There it is. Okay. And I think that washer is now going to stay on. Get the brad back into the hole and then put it into this hole. And let's go ahead and put some, no, we don't want to glue it down. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. We don't want to glue this down. I might tack down a corner just to keep it from moving around too much. But I don't think I will, actually, because I need for the thread to go all the way around it. And if I tack a corner down, it's not going to work. Okay, so then we're going to flip this over. And we're going to open these little buggers up. And push down. Give it a nice little solid push, because you want to get it tight so it doesn't move around too much. Okay. Oh, that's going to be just stinking darling. Stinking darling. Okay. Flip it back around. Now we can go ahead. Oh, poo. I'm going to have to make, I didn't think about that. I'm going to have to make a little hole. I'm going to kind of rub the paper back and forth. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to take a little moon-shaped space right out. And I hope I didn't do it too far. I did. Oh, oops, so sorry. A little more. And there. So I can see what I'm doing here. Yeah. So there we go. Although now all of a sudden, that just does not want to get down there far enough. There we go. There we go. So I just opened that back up. The glue must have grabbed a little bit more than I wanted it to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And you see I just cut a little hole so that it would fit around the brad. So here we go with this. And I must have something. Give it a good hard squeeze. There we go. Now we're cooking with some gasoline. And just put some glue on that seam binding. It's another way of helping it to hold down. Now we want to make sure that we are going to get it all the way down where we want it. And it's set up on side to side where we want it. Come on, get down in there. Get down in there. There we go. And get down in there. And it still needs to go a little bit further there. Okay. Now let's burnish that puppy down. There we go. Make sure you've got those edges down nicely, because I had it maneuvering it around a little bit, so sometimes it'll dry before you're ready, and then you won't be able to, you know, make it really stick. So now the purple. And again, I'm going to have to... So I think next time what we'll do is you put everything down and then do this last. Then you don't have to worry about it. So, dummy me. But I want this to go from edge to edge. And I'm going to make myself a little mark where I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to also make a mark where I'm going to cut this off. So here's my mark for this cut. Right there. Remember to keep your finger down on that paper holder. It does make a difference. And let's see if this little section here cut out will work for us. And come down. And cover everything. Remember, I want my little V as best I can. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I do need to ink it though. I'm going to ink it from the back because I don't want a bunch of that black hazy stuff. And then let's glue this puppy down. I'm going to back you out just a little bit because I think you're missing half of what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm lightly going to slide this underneath. I knew I was going to end up getting glue all over the place. Get it down where I want it. All the way across. And I am going to have to get rid of some of that triangle just because of where everything is ending up. But that's okay. I'm still liking it. I'm still liking it a lot. Isn't that cute? And then I think finishing touch is right there. Oh yeah, very pretty. Now I could have wrapped this around as well, but this gets a little thicker, and if you wrap it, it keeps the base from adhering down well enough. So I would just prefer to glue this down just from edge to edge. I'm just going to use a little Fabri-Tac, and I'm just going to run it right up at the very top of the green page, the green mat. And you don't need a whole lot, so I'm not hardly even squeezing the bottle. There we go.